night, good night. Good night, babe, I gotta go. Good night, good night.
You're listening to
Good
WeP3
night,
Radio,
babe, I
produced
gotta
in
go.
partnership of Reads Across America Radio, with the mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach future generations the
Till the
value of
moment
freedom,
I get
created by the
home.
men and women who have served our country.
Head back your way when the morning comes. Head back your way
Currently playing on
when
WeP3
the morning
Radio,
comes.
Josh Garabin. Good night, good night.
Spent the whole damn night waiting on the sun.
You got it!
Truck it on.
Dockers, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 and 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it!
Truck it on.
Good evening. It's Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project, and you are here with us. You're here with us on the happy day after Wreaths Across America Day. Sorry, not sorry, because you'll probably hear a little bit about that as we go tonight. It is the 15th of December, and we're here on our show and podcast that we do weekly, and we call it We Got Your 6 at 6. Every week we bring you a guest, and a lot of times we bring a new artist, and then we share all the good and sometimes not so good things that are happening in our world. This week, our guests are Doug Macedo and Brian Larose. We cannot wait to learn more about both of them. Our sponsors for tonight's episode include Catch 22 with Derek Iozio, Operation Texas Strong, the Boho Hobos Hideaway with Lauren Iozio, and our very own, and she's with us tonight, Kimmer Gwinner. Thanks for being here, Kimmer. It's good to see you again. Brian Kenzer, he's with us. He supports WeP3 with his mission and his business called Smart Living Today. Reach out to our sponsor, Brian, to discuss getting on the right side of your health, supporting American families, jobs, and the economy, and supporting the WeP3 mission. He would love to help you with all of those things. Also, keep in mind that We Got Your 6 at 6 can be heard on Wreaths Across America Radio on Sundays at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find Wreaths Across America Radio on the iHeart app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. Just search the word Wreath. You'll find it. Thank you very much to our sponsors, our guests, and our viewers. And we expect a lot of interaction tonight. So let us know when you're here, even if you just say hi. Before we get started tonight, we ask that you take off your hats. Stand if you can, cover your heart, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Boom.
Yeehaw, here we go.
I don't even know how I'm upright right now, but it's not about me. It's about our peeps. It's about the, oh my gosh, 4,000 people that were at Fort Snelling this week. Unbelievable. I'm trying to move people around. They're not moving around. They're not moving for me. Brian, move. There you go. Finally. Andrea, it's your turn. You move.
1, 2, 3, go.
Didn't work. All right. Whatever.
Oh, look at it. Got up here. Yep.
And all right. There we go. There we go. Everyone's in the right spots. The podcast won't have a clue what we're talking about, but there's a beauty order here, and this is how it has to go. I go last, and Brian goes first today. That's the way it works.
There we go. It works. It works. I just, I love when we put our stuff in order. It's good stuff. It is good stuff. We got Derek Iozio. Hello, Derek. Thanks for popping in.
Let's go. Read him off.
Read it. Remember, he's in Alberta, Alabama. There's Jeremy Daniels, always and forever. Jeremy, I'm waiting on tacos. They're coming. Amanda, every week. Love to see you, my dear. I love to see you. We got William Stevens. Stevens is in the house.
They're
Thank
rolling
you.
in, man. Blow it up. Boom. Patriot Pride.
Who's here that I think we have a couple names that we can't see. So make sure. If you're not seeing your name up here, let us know you're here. Thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, look at this. It is. Andrea already announced it. December 15th. It is the day after Wreaths Across America Day. But we had 2 days, and actually we're going to get 3 days. And it's all fun. It's all grand. It's all great. It is what it is. And we don't mean for it to upstage our amazing guests tonight. But
no. But can I do one more thing? Because you said it'll be 3. So today was day 3 for me. Tomorrow will be tomorrow will be day 3 for you, but tomorrow will be day 4 for our freaking rock star, Claudia. Oh,
Claudia.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had my little noisemaker up on stage when I was at.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah,
No.
that'd been good. I need to have that next year. Next
No.
year, goals.
Don't bring it. I will mute you if you bring it. No.
I can't believe they allow me on stage to begin with, but they let me start it. They let me end it this year. It was amazing. Good
Jonathan,
time.
if you didn't see it, dude looked good. He looked good. He came with this pea coat on. Thought he switched over to the Navy for a minute, but
I know how to polish a turd. I know how to polish a hairy turd, hairy bearded turd, like Christmas Pookie the Christmas turd. It was Petey the Christmas turd. No, I want to thank all the thousands of people who were involved with Reads Across America. And you know what? I said it up there, and I'll say it again now. The mission's not over. The mission's not done. And we did not complete our task, bottom line. And it is, but I'm celebrating because we had more people here this year than last year. And we got more reads this year than last year. And we're just talking about Fort Snelling. I mean, the exciting pieces are, if anyone's ever been to Arlington Cemetery out in Washington, D.C., that is a designated, fully covered cemetery. I can't even imagine how they do it. It's exciting. Fort Snelling is the 3rd largest national cemetery in the country. We have there's some arguments in this. The data is different only because maybe it's the columbariums and this and that, but roughly, I think it is. There's 300,000 people there.
Just about.
But there are only 200,000 veterans. So, and that is the difference. And so,
those are also nice round numbers because it's like,
right.
I think Jason said they had like 2,500 funerals just last year. So every time we say our count, we have to add, we had to add more numbers from the last year as well.
All right.
So
if you want to hear more about Reads Across America, tune in tomorrow at 4:30 when WeP3 does our debrief, and we'll spill our guts on that one. Tonight's not about us. Tonight's about Brian and our other guest that's coming. A little bit. He's on another mission, and he'll be here as soon as he can get here. So, good to have you here, Brian.
Nice. It's good to be here.
Where are you calling in from?
It's like South Shore. It's like 25 minutes from south of Boston.
All right. And we say the name, and they just come boom, just like that. Oof. And our other guest is here.
How's it going, everybody?
Fabulous. Good to have you, Doug.
Yes, appreciate it.
Well, we will get back to both these guys here in a minute. First, we want to hear Jonathan. What's in the news?
So December is the month of giving. It revolves around people making a difference in society by choosing to help others. Giving is not something that should be done while expecting anything in return. It has a therapeutic effect to it. And based on the needs of the person that you're giving to, you can actually save someone's life, give a child a Christmas, provide food or shelter for a family. Help can be found in many different ways, and laying wreaths. Donating and giving to charities you trust can create a positive cycle and lead to the betterment of several individuals or families in the process. December 15th is known as Bill of Rights Day. And this day commemorates the ratification of the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Introduced by James Madison, who would later become the 4th President of the United States, the Bill of Rights protects the most basic rights of Americans. The right to bear arms, the freedom of speech and religion, the freedom of the press, protection against unreasonable search and seizure, etc. President Franklin D. Roosevelt was the first president to issue a proclamation making December 15th Bill of Rights Day in 1941. In a historic radio address, he would make the statement, "No date in the long history of freedom means more to liberty-loving men in all liberty-loving countries than the 15th day of December 1791. President Harry Truman would be the next to issue the proclamation for Bill of Rights Day in 1946. And then in 2019, President Donald Trump would issue a proclamation again calling for December 15th to be celebrated as Bill of Rights Day. He stated, during Human Rights Day, Bill of Rights Day, and Human Rights Week, we celebrate the Bill of Rights for safeguarding our God-given rights and protecting us from the abuse of government power. The Bill of Rights outside of the United States Constitution is arguably one of the most important documents ever penned in U.S. history. On December 17th, 1903, after 3 years of experimentation, Orville and Wilbur Wright achieved the first powered, controlled airplane flights. They made 4 different flights near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and the longest of those would last about a minute. And we have come a very long way since then. On December 21st, 1945, famed World War II general and one of the most feared generals in modern American history, George Patton, died in Germany following a car accident. He had been injured on December 9th near Mannheim and was taken to a hospital in Heidelberg where he died. He was buried in Luxembourg. He was nicknamed Old Blood and Guts and once stated during the war that we shall attack and attack until we are exhausted, and then we shall attack again. He is also credited with the origins of the mantra, which we sometimes say, with a little twist on it, lead me, follow me, or get out of my way. And that is it for the news.
I love the lead me, follow me, or get me out of the way. That is actually, I'm having one of my moments. Jeremy Daniels would quote that one regularly. And we put a little twist on it, but I'm not allowed to say it live on the air. So, awesome. Thank you, Jonathan.
Just take me off the big screen, man. I don't know what button.
No, stop touching the buttons. Gosh dang it, Jonathan. How many times we got to tell you? You don't get to touch the buttons. All right. All right. So we had a moment. I'm having one of my moments right now. Doug, real quick, because this is the first time we've actually. How do you say your last name? Just so I don't want to mess it up. Oh, and he disappeared. Maybe we
see.
Doug, you with us?
Yes, there we are.
All right.
Last name's Macedo.
Macedo. It is pronounced Macedo. Okay, just wanted to make sure I got it right. And where are you calling in tonight from, brother?
So I'm actually located in central Massachusetts, which is the town that I'm in is a small town just south of Worcester.
You guys know each other?
Let's see. Brian. No.
You guys are like probably 10 minutes from each other. I'm lying. That's not probably accurate, but that's.
Massachusetts is a big state when it goes to driving because it can take you 2 hours to get to any one location with traffic.
Fair enough.
Brian,
where are you from again?
South Shore, halfway between Boston and Cape Cod.
So how far apart are you two?
So he's down by Quincy and all that, so probably about an hour and 5, hour and 10.
This is crazy because, I mean, this is not planned, but I guess we're going to have the Massachusetts invasion tonight, and we're all right with that. We can handle it. It's all good. Awesome. Outstanding. Now, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but did anyone else on the screen participate in Reads Across America yesterday? Oh, goals. We got goals for next year. Perfect.
I was just traveling back from Indianapolis from a show which is called PRI, which is Performance Racing Industry. It's one of the biggest shows for like NASCAR down to Pro 4 modified. So I was kissing babies and shaking hands.
Oh, perfect. So, does anyone on screen watch Yellowstone? I have a prediction because a little bit more than 40 minutes, a little less than 40 minutes. Final episode of this season is going to be on. I think John Dutton comes back to life.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Okay.
I got all the bracelets set up. What would John Dutton do? That's what we. It's not true. I'm making all that up. Don't believe me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right. So I don't mess around all night long. Tell us who you are. Tell us about your service, and tell us what you do.
Yeah. So, again, my name is Brian Larose. I served in the Army. I was a Special Forces engineer, or an 18 Charlie. So pretty much everything that goes boom, I was responsible for. That was a lot of fun. Jumped out of airplanes. I was a team sniper, and did that for about 6 years. And then kind of, I did what they tell you not to do, get married and have kids, and kind of changed the outlook. So I shifted gears. We moved back to Boston and raising a family. I work for the state of Massachusetts now. So and I play music as kind of a hobby, but it's kind of starting to make some waves. So
I love it. I'm excited. Previewing it, just so you guys know, Mr. Brian is live, ready to roll, and is on WeP3 Radio. So after you're done hearing him tonight, and we'll get his Spotify and all that stuff out there to you. Super talented, super excited. And you recently got to rub some elbows with some people that we used to hang out with down at a little event.
Yeah.
You want to share anything about that?
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually wearing the sweatshirt they gave us, but it's called Warrior Song, and what it is so Zach Brown from the Zach Brown Band invites like 12, 13 veterans down that are songwriters, kind of in different stages of their career, I guess, but as a way to say thank you, he brings in thank you for your service. Like, he brings in top tier music producers, record label owners. There's a music lawyer. They give you a crash course for about 5 days and how to hone your craft, how to navigate the industry, how to get your music heard, that kind of thing. And it was no cost. It was just absolutely amazing.
So there's a pretty significant pedigree of individuals that ran through that program that weekend. And Jack Blaze has been on WeP3. Shannon Book has been on WeP3. Joey Anderson's been on WeP3. What else?
Alan, right? Alan Hayes.
Yep. And Johnny Cole Murdoch. And these are all cats you got to hang out with on it. Now, there's a couple more we still got to catch on and reel them in, but we're working on it right now. Chuck Wimmer, I think it's next weekend. And then we got Javon Newman. It starts the year off. So exciting stuff. Amazing work on all of them. And we're awesome. You got to do that. Because we do several events, or have done several events. We're kind of the, what do you call it? We're the kings of the one and done kind of thing, only in the fact that we get so busy. There's so much stuff going on, but we do these side events that bring veteran musicians in. We brought Scotty Hastings and Shannon Book up for an event 2 years ago. Amazing event. Loved it. And then we also, who's our Rochester cat? Miss Eichmann.
I'm sorry, say again.
Who's our guy from Rochester?
Oh, JT Thompson.
JT and the Gunslingers, yes.
Yeah.
But amazing event. And we love it. And after we have these events, everyone's excited. Everyone is like, kumbaya, love it. And I'm assuming you felt that same thing. And I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of side texts going on all the time. Hey, what you doing, bro? Hey, what's going down? What's up? It's infectious. And it is amazing what these movements of these amazing men and women musicians who have served their country, what they are getting done in this country. And we have committed that we are going to continue to promote and showcase their talents. And we're blessed to have you here tonight, Brian.
Awesome. Thank you.
Doug.
Yes.
Who are you? Tell us about your service and tell us what you do.
So who I am, I'm Doug Macedo. I run a nonprofit organization, which is Fubar Studio Veteran Reinforcement. It's to pretty much get to bridge the gap between a lot of veteran organizations and be able to assist veterans in a lot of different ways. And so one of the few of the ways that we do it is we partner up with race car teams like DDR Motorsports, Doug and Derek Roby. We've got Andy J and Andy Seiss, who Andy Seiss is also the owner of Class Motorsports with the Arkan series with NASCAR. And so what we do is we bring veterans into the pits to the races, and they get to hang out with the race teams and the race drivers, as well as the owners of the team. And they get to just be able to do pretty much a lot of the stuff that the teams do. They can sit down in the car, they can be able to change tires, they be able to help and work on the race cars. And be able to push the cars down into the track, and then hang out in the pits while the races are going on. And so it lets the veterans be able to not isolate themselves and be able to get adapted back into civilian life after being in the service. Another way we do it is we do on the water with veterans, and we take veterans out deep sea fishing. And they'll be able to catch the fish that is allowed, and then as long as they're the right measurements and everything, then they can take it, and they can the deck hands will clean it, and then put them in a bag for them to take home and eat. And again, all this stuff is free for them. It's the traveling free, the pit, getting to the races, pits and stuff. All that's free. All their food and drinks and stuff are all free. They also get merchandise from the race teams, all free. And then they get the travel back home, and it's free for them. And then they get a bunch of items from us, which is like shirts that we have made for the track day for veterans or on the water for veterans. They also get a challenge coin that we had specially made for the veterans. And all this stuff is free for them, and then we keep in contact with them. And if they ever need any assistance with, like, say, their furnace went, they can put in for it, and we'll probably have the money, or we'll raise the money to get a new furnace put in, which we just did one just recently, like a couple weeks ago. Veteran, their heater crapped the bed. We raised the money, partnered up with FW Web, put a whole new furnace in their house at no cost for them. But also, I don't do this. I do it full time, but I also work full time, just like Brian does. I also work for the state of Massachusetts, which that's funny. Both people are from Massachusetts and stuff, and it's like, shit, we're also work for the state of Massachusetts as well. I just work on the, depending on what Brian does, I work with MassDOT. And so I'm in my car because I got called in tonight. But those are the things we do. And We cover everything from New England all the way down for racing, for track day for veterans. We cover everything from Oxford Plains, Maine, all the way up there to all the way down to Florida. We're now also in Tennessee, Kentucky, and we're in talks with another race team that is in Indianapolis. And they do a different type of racing. We cover from Pro 4 modifieds, midgets, to indoor small stock, to Arkan series that's within NASCAR.
Wow, that's very exciting stuff, man.
Yeah,
and that's a huge industry, man. We get a lot of people busy watching those cars go around those circles, man. That's
left turn, left turn, left turn.
Yeah.
But we also cover what is it called? Regular car racing, which is like BMWs, Audis, stuff like that. They street racing. We cover stuff like that as well. We have two drivers that do that, and then we also have drift racing too. We have two drift racers. So it is, and as you say, it is a big industry, and it's a big following. As I was at the PRI event, I met another Navy veteran who's an officer, and he does iRacing. He's part of iRacing Association.
And what is iRacing?
It's the Sims racing. So pretty much it's set up just like racing. Everything is like it's the feedback to the steering wheel, but it's all on the computer.
Okay.
Which that's even now been a big industry getting into, because after COVID started, where did all the race car drivers go? Well, a lot of them started doing indoor in their house racing.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Do you run a podcast as well?
I do. I run a podcast which is called Fubar Studio. It's online. I host that podcast, which is the beginning of the nonprofit that I started. I was like, I'm going to do podcasting, because that kind of helped me get myself back into it helped me to get back myself into the civilian life and be able to not isolate myself. But then I also got asked by another organization called Homeland Heroes Foundation, another nonprofit. They asked me to host their podcast as well, which they're up in New Hampshire. And so now I host two podcasts.
When do you have time to do all this stuff, brother?
In between sleeping for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Cameron, what you been up to?
Oh, no good as usual.
Yeah? You causing problems?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Falling, getting epidurals, injections in the knees, and it's all good.
SFH, good to see you guys.
Still
outstanding, exciting. Oh my gosh, you said it. I can't believe you said it. You gotta have to go over here and all right, fix that.
There's a little beep. There's the sounds.
They will never know that was said. It's all good. Do you know those guys?
I do. I know them very well. They're good. They're good peeps down there. They're down in Florida.
Yeah, I'm a teacher during the day, and I know that our buddy down there wouldn't make it in my class for about 5 minutes, and I'd be sending him out. That's what I know. He's out of control. He's out of control, and you gotta love it. You gotta love the guy. He's amazing. It's great stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
Brian, let's hear some tunes, dude.
All right.
Which one do you want us to start off with?
How about Forever Young?
Forever Young. You got a lead in for that?
Yeah, so this is a song I wrote after leaving the Army. It's kind of the story. How it came about was, before you deploy, you get your service photo taken, or you update your packet, and kind of get your death photo taken in case you get clipped. And when you're walking through your company area, your team area, or whatever, and one of those pictures is up, you walk by it every day, and if someone does get killed overseas, then they stay that age in that picture forever. Your life goes on, and they kind of stay forever young. So that's the concept behind the song. But it was actually just in a movie called Alien Country. It's an independent film, and it tends to be a fan favorite.
All right. Here's Brian Larose, Forever Young. Uh-oh.
My bones in my blood and the people that I love, like a white cap raging river running through. It's in the mountains that I climb, in the wind beneath the pines. This song I'm singing now to you. I've been everywhere, raised my flag up on the cable, watched the sun rise over Guilty. Working every day, putting food up on the table. Guess that's just the man I need to be. It's in my bones, in my blood, in the people that I love, like a white cap raging river running through. It's in the mountains that I climb, in the wind beneath the pines. The song I'm singing now to you. There's a voice inside my chest, and sometimes he knows what's best. Tells me so when I keep fucking up. Well, it keeps on getting louder when I keep on getting prouder. So the pride always comes before the fall. It's in my bones, in my blood, in the people that I love, like a white cap raging river running through. It's in the mountains that I climb, in the wind beneath the pines. The song I'm singing now to you. Oh, when times get tough, the seas get rough, and the sun refuses to shine. Lick your wounds a little at a time. Oh, you never see it get the best of me, 'cause there's a warrior deep inside. Oh, yeah, it's back up for another try. It's in my bones, in my blood, in the people that I love, like a white cap raging river running through. It's in the mountains that I climb, in the wind beneath the pines. The song I'm singing now to you. It's in my bones, in my blood, in the people that I love, like a white cap raging river running through. It's in the mountains that I climb, in the wind beneath the pines. The song I'm singing now to you. It's in my bones, in my blood, in the people that I love, like a white cap raging river running through. It's in the mountains that I climb, in the wind beneath the pines. The song I'm singing now to you.
That is Brian Larose, Forever Young.
So
Yeah.
not to call you. That's actually I don't know how the songs get crisscrossed there. That song's called The Pines.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's all good.
All right. Well, that might be my fault.
I just probably that lead in didn't make much sense with the song, so it's all good.
Well, and it is. So you heard The Pines. We'll get that fixed. I want to make sure that it's up right on the radio and stuff. And I'll take 100%. You know what? I'm reading a new book right now. I don't have it with me. The book I'm reading is called. Such a great book. I can remember what it's called right now. It's called Extreme Ownership, and it's written by Wilco and Rabin, both Navy SEALs, and that's a whole nother story. But it's about when stuff happens, whether it's good or bad, or whether it doesn't get fixed. It doesn't take a role unless you say, you know what, I take ownership of that. So I take ownership of that. I messed it up, man. I don't know how, but I did.
It's all good, all good. And I gotta mention, so I play like solo acoustic shows and stuff all around, and I write a lot of music. But these songs are actually performed with my band High Pines, which band's really been taking off. We got nominated for a New England Music Award. We didn't end up winning, but Rising Stars Massachusetts. So it was a pretty cool honor, and I definitely want to make sure I give a shout out to the band.
Now, you can't offend me. There's a lyric in there, and I saw you chuckling during the little chuckle, haha. You guys don't get to know that. I get to see everything you do. So when you're touching yourself inappropriately and stuff like that, I get to see that. So don't do that.
Picking your nose, that's what you meant.
Yeah. So no, there's a little lyric in there that got a little chuckle out of them, and that I love it. I love it. Now my question is, and it's not like I said, you can't offend me, but like I want to play WeP3 Radio at like over the air at Reeds Across America, and that would be a song that I would have to flag until a 9 p.m. set. You got one that doesn't have the Ethenheimer?
Yeah, all the other ones I sent to you should be good. That's the only one that I totally forgot after I sent it.
Oh, that's all good. You're good.
Good for here.
Yeah. I don't have a clean version of that song.
That's fine. I can probably sneak in there and do a little something to it. But what's crazy is like we have Doc Todd who's in our playlist, and he wears everything on his sleeve. Well, Doc Todd, unfortunately and sadly, can't remix any of his music because he's no longer with us, and so we've got to push all of his music till after the night because it's not okay for
most of it. Yeah, some of it's okay. But...
yeah, so it's all good. Like I said, you can't offend this. This is I work with that lady up there in the middle, and you can't offend this after working with her. That's gee,
lies.
She makes the Navy boys look like little preschool kids. She makes them blush. That's not true.
I learn everything from my 8th graders. It's just what I hear all day. It's okay.
Truth. So Brian, what are you working on now? What's your big thing in life? What are you getting done?
Yeah. It's kind of the music thing's kind of become my pet project. It started, I think a lot of people after leaving the military, you kind of have the military blues, I guess you could call it, or the ex-military blues. So I think it took a couple years, and my wife is a saint, very supportive, and I kind of started channeling a lot of that stuff through music and just kind of pouring it out, and it started resonating with people. And so I think, my initial goal was like, hey, I just want to play at the corner pub kind of thing in town. And then I did that. And then it was like the second show was actually my 20-year high school reunion. One of the girls from my high school class owns like a pretty large music venue down here on the South Shore. And she's like, hey, we're going to do the high school reunion here. You want to play? And I was like, yeah, I'll get a band together. So that was like our first gig as a band. It was in front of my whole high school class. So it was like second time singing in front of people. And, if I sucked, it was only going to be in front of everyone I knew. So picked a good one, but
how big's your class?
Like a couple 200, 250, something like that.
Okay. All right. No, that's decent. That's
small.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
It's small town. small seaside town, New England.
My graduating class was 2000.
Oh,
Jeez.
But you don't sing in front of them, brother.
I sing in the shower.
How many lobster boils do you guys go to in a year?
Quite a few. I don't actually eat seafood. I'm not a big seafood guy, so I'm like the one anomaly.
I can
At least-
appreciate that. I can.
At least 10, maybe 15.
I know, right? So I'm going to bring Reeds Across America into this again. Sorry. They invited Andrea and myself to visit them up in Maine over this last summer. And one of the events at the Reeds Across America place was they did a lobster boil for us. And I was like, oh my gosh. Well, there's a bunch of cadets there and they're all sitting there. And I looked at them. And these cadets are going to to West Point and to the Naval Academy and everything. And then there's some hosses here. And I'm like, dude, how many of these lobster boils do you do in a year? And they're like, yeah, it's a once a month thing. So in Minnesota, which I'm not Minnesotan for the record, I got to lay claim to that. Lobster's expensive. So we don't get to do stuff like that. And I mean, they threw away more lobster at that lobster boil than I've eaten my entire lifetime. And I'm just like, oh, what is going on? And it's like, whatever, man. I am a seafood lover, and I love it when we get to do that. There's nothing wrong with a little baked scrod. Nothing wrong with it. Outstanding. Doug, what are you working on now, brother?
Pretty much, I'm working on more just with growing the track day for veterans. I know, and I didn't say this at the beginning, as I know what you asked even about the military career. I got in 06, got out in 16, 9 years, 11 months, 28 days, so it was just shy of my 10-year. But I was an 88 Mike Motor T truck driver. Just to give you that background, I was driving for the Inspector General's office as my last assignment, which was over at Westover Air Force Base. Prior to that was at Fort Riley, Kansas. But yeah, just what I'm working on now is more just expanding. I've got a bunch of new companies that are coming aboard. One is Milton Cat, and then there's a few others that's in the works. Just haven't really dialed everything in, fine-tuned it yet. We should be fine-tuning all that and be able to provide that information once it's been signed off. But yeah, just trying to grow this track day for veterans, because again, it gets everybody back to their grassroots and that enjoy racing, and it also helps others that are veterans that want to have that need for speed, feeling that kind of deal. We have so many different opportunities for veterans. We're growing and expanding and just making this happen for veterans. Because one of the race teams that we are partnered up with is Adaptive Driving Experience, which is ADE. They're another nonprofit, but they own a Gen 3 race car from a race team. I don't know the exact race team, but I want to say, I could be wrong, but I believe it was Bobby Labonte's or Mark Truex Jr. But this actually gets the veterans that want to drive. They actually can get you behind the wheel driving on a quarter-mile track, and it's set up also for disabled veterans. So if a veteran is in a wheelchair, and say they have both of their legs amputated, this allows the veteran to be able to get suited up and still be able to get into the race car, because the door, the side of the car, actually where the door should be at, is actually comes off. The seat pulls out and turns, and you're able to get the veteran into that seat. And then there's another individual who will drive the car that's on the passenger side. So it gives veterans that ability to be able to still get in behind the wheel and feel that rumbling of the race cars. So
super exciting.
That's where we're at so far. I mean, where we're expanding into, but it's we're even looking at expanding into that whole thing of what I was talking about before, the eSIMs or the iSIMs. It allows other veterans to be able to be in a simulator for racing as well.
How do you fund your programming?
We fund our program mainly by myself and the board. We put a lot of our own money into this, so that because we all feel that this is a very important project, very important avenue for veterans to be able to get assistance. But we also pretty much we go door to door, phone call to phone call, begging and pleading with people, saying, "Hey, this is who we are. This is what we do," and we ask for the donations or sponsorships. We tell people saying, "Hey, if you do a sponsorship or donation, your company logo will be all over our social media, as well as on the back of our shirts that we make for these events. We'll put your logo onto our brochures." That's the ways that we are able to fund this. We also get partnered up with the NASCAR Foundation, and when they do a give-a-thon, which will be coming up this year, we get to play our video for like 30 seconds or so for an hour, but it would only run for 30 seconds, but it would be for an hour straight of the same video. And we are asking for donations at that point. And then they also have companies that match those donations. We also, another way of funding it is we have merchandise that is on our one of our pages, websites that allow people to purchase shirts, beanies, stuff like that, and that helps us be able to fund it. With that also being said, is 97.6% of what we get in goes straight back to the veterans. Only it's 2.4% actually goes to marketing. None of us on the board or anything, we don't take a pay because we don't want to pay. We don't want money. So we're not for profit. So everything that we're getting goes straight back out the door to veterans.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Love hearing that, man. Love hearing it.
So that's basically, the things that we do, is just promote ourselves and raise the money by donation, sponsorships. That's what we do because we have that feeling to be able to help veterans, and to be able to do that.
Outstanding. We've put your webpage up a couple times, and so
thank you.
This has got to be. I mean, it's such an intriguing niche of opportunity for, and the racing world is huge.
Yeah,
it's gigantic, and what an amazing, great way to reach veterans, and and I'm making some assumptions here. Your focus is veterans. Our focus is veterans and first responders, mainly because roughly 72% of people who are serving as first responders have prior service of some shape or form. So, but exciting stuff. I'm excited to watch and see where this all goes. We've had a couple conversations with a couple. I don't know if I'll call them teams or individuals, but people in the industry, because we really think it would be great to get the beacon on a couple of cars and just let people know, man, our green is not going to go unseen, folks. That's what we say. And our veterans and first responders are the ones that allow us to lay your big fat heads on the pillows of freedom every single day without you worrying who's coming in your back door. And I know that's a bit aggressive, but it's the truth. And sorry, not sorry. All right, Brian, we're gonna have to work through this a little bit because of my mislabels. Let's do your next song, and you're gonna have to give me a quick thumbs up or thumbs down if it's the right song or not.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Which one do you want to go?
Well, if we could do forever.
Can we try the one we were supposed to play?
Yeah, I got my guitar. I can just play guitar.
Oh, you want to roll? Let's roll live.
Yeah.
So this one is about the picture that people take when they go into service, when there's a chance and opportunity where you may not make it to the next phase of wherever, and you are forever young.
That's right.
You walk with me tonight through the poppy fields. Lay by your star so bright, lighting up my world. I will be brave, I will be strong, I will fly until it's done. And if I fall, please hold me high, so I live forever young. You walk with me tonight through the killing fields. I'll hold your hand so tight when I leave this world. I will be brave, I will be strong, I will fight until it's done. And if I fall, please hold me high, so I live forever young. And if I fall, please hold me high, so I live forever on. And if I fall, please hold me high, so I live forever on. And if I fall, please hold me high, so I live forever young.
There it is.
Yeah, you did. Oh, there we go. Mark's still muted. There we go. I can't unmute you, Mark.
Yeah, I sit here and just keep talking, and it.
I was trying.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I said, wow, wow, wow. Who is your musical influence?
Yeah, it's kind of a it's kind of a mixed bag. I love Chris Stapleton. I mean, Chris is incredible. But I think a lot of my musical influences come from like my dad. You know, I listen to like Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin, and I mean like Jim Croce and James Taylor and Doobie Brothers, like a whole mix of stuff.
And how long have you been playing?
I've been playing since like 8th grade.
Okay.
So yeah, like 20. How old am I? Yeah, 25 years, something like that.
Okay. No, to be honest, you don't. This is not an attack on anyone in the world, but your rhythm and guitar play is different than most. You put a little bit of art and funk into your stuff, and it's very clear, and I appreciate it. So I was really impressed with your licks in that one. So
thank you.
And just your soft delivery, and I don't know if that's intentional. It draws you in to want to listen to more, and I really enjoyed that song.
Cool.
I wish I'd have gotten it right the first time.
It's all good. The like the recorded version with the band has kind of an extended end section that kind of jams out a bit, but when I play it live, that's kind of how I do it. So a little different.
So there's a question out there, Mr. DeMith. Good to see you, Frank. Asked, does anyone make CDs anymore? And the answer is some do. But we have moved into such and you can speak for yourself here in a second, but we've moved into such a digital world that it's not cost effective to have the physical product on. There's people that still do LPs. I can't think of his name right now. CJ Garden. CJ Garden walks around music places all the time and has his LP with him and sells them while he's standing there. And not very many people do vinyl anymore. But yet then when we were down at Hero Stock last year, we ran into a young lady that is in the vinyl industry and is punching them out. So how do people get hold of your music, brother?
Yeah, definitely. So we're totally independent. I record my stuff in my buddy's like shed, kind of pretty much. But it's he's talented. He worked with Aerosmith as like a sound engineer, so he knows a bit. But so we put everything up on like Spotify. You can search High Pines, with Instagram, Tidal, all the Apple Music, everything. It's on all streaming services. So
okay, we'll get a link up here as soon as we can too, just to make sure people have access to it. I was trying to find it through your Facebook page, and I don't have it in that spot, but we'll get it figured out. Miss Kimmer, I hear you got a little word of inspiration for us tonight.
I do. It's about my Uncle Gene. He was in Patton's Army, and I've been kind of missing him here lately, so I wrote about him. Remembering my Uncle Gene. Today is the passing anniversary of my Uncle Gene. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what my world with him means. He was a man like no other. He was my mother's older brother. I didn't remember when we first met, but it had to be glorious, that you can bet. I became his little Kimbo, and it meant a lot. In fact, you could say with me, he did flaunt. Every chance he could, he would pick me up, take me home with him. Man, I felt so run up. We would do everything together, just him and me. For a while, for my mother, I was free. I think he knew about the abuse, so he allowed me to be his little caboose. See, I would follow my Uncle Gene everywhere. My love for him could not be compared. He taught and loved me so very much, and my heart with no other has since been touched. We had a special bond up until my teens. And that day on the farm, I said things I didn't mean. It broke his heart as he turned and walked away. God knows how I regret that every day. Our relationship seemed to become null and void, and it was hard. And as hard as it was, him I did avoid. He did nothing wrong, and I know he didn't understand. But my mother was about to hurt him, so in his face I stood. And like I said things that I would regret. It stabbed us both in the heart like a bayonet. Uncle Gene, to me, you are the best thing in my life. I hope I can repair our love in my afterlife.
Thank you for sharing, Miss Winter. Doug.
Yes, sir.
What's next for you, brother?
So, pretty much what next is I've got a few races that are coming up. One's in, Allentown, PA, January 3rd and 4th with DDR Motorsports. Derek Roby is going to be racing indoors. I've also got, I believe it's March, we've got another race that is going to be taken off. That's in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And then prior to that, we got February 15th. We're going to be down in Daytona Beach, Florida at the Daytona 500. But it's going to be the race for the Arkan Series with Andy J. He is a New York born and bred racer that races now in the Arkan Series. So that's going to be February 15th. So anybody in and around those areas that wants to participate and go to these races, feel free, reach out. My cell phone and everything, email address is all in the Facebook page. So that's all there for everybody to reach out and just let me know if they want to go.
Typically, how much room, how many people, what's the participation level for, or like? I know.
So for the year, probably close to about 140 or so. For
a year.
Year for track day for veterans. We had about 40 or so veterans because this was the first year we did on the water with veterans. We had about 45 or so veterans go. And then we are anticipating about 300 and so this year for on the water with veterans. And we're anticipating probably, I would say, in the close ballpark of about 260 for track day for veterans.
Because you referenced your Facebook page, I put the link to your Facebook page up just so people can see that, check that out. And you go with the Doug John Macedo? I put it out there.
Yeah, I do that. But yeah, I mean, on the Facebook page for Fubar Studio is where you're going to find probably my cell phone number and email address. That's where you will find that. But if anybody's out there listening, you guys are listening, its cell phone is 508-523-9810. That is my personal cell phone number. I answer it 365 days a year, 24/7. Even when it comes to if someone needs someone to talk to, where I'm here. And then also my email address, that is Doug.Macedo, and that's M as Mike, A as in Alpha, C as in Charlie, E as in Echo, D as in Delta, O as in Oscar, at FubarStudio.com.
Putting that in the links as well. And boom. Everything's up. Everything's present. Everything's golden. Good to have you, man. Good to have you. Good mission. Great approach. And again,
We appreciate it.
it's nothing that I've heard out there before. I mean, we see a lot of spaces, places, and people, and I love the niche to it, and I it's good stuff.
I grew up racing, so I mean, it kind of fit with me, and then I tried to just figure out a few things that would help me after my time in service. Would help me. What would help me to get me back to where I used to be? Because when you get in the service, you have anywhere between a year to 2 years of training. And then when you get out of the service, you have 1 day to maybe 7 days of getting back into being into civilian life. It's very, very easy for you to slip through for veterans to slip through the cracks when you're only getting that much time to get to reintroduce back into civilian life. It's you're going from having, your brothers and sisters to the right and left of you to now being in an apartment by yourself of say about maybe not even an apartment, a studio of 500 square feet, and it's just you. It's takes time to react back to civilian life.
And the crazy piece about this, and in studying the research and stuff, and people are even more now kind of forced to like not get off the couch. Gaming and videoing, not attacking gaming and videoing, but if you want to isolate, you can isolate for a long time now with online gaming and that, and it doesn't promote you to have to leave. It doesn't promote you, and I get there's a piece of what your thing. Events are going to save lives. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. And you've created an event, you've created an opportunity, you created an outlet, and it is an opportunity to stand next to like-minded people. And what I'm struggling with right now is I feel like Frank wants to start a fight because he wants to bring
the Navy.
What on earth happened to our knights? What the heck? All right, Navy people, congratulations. Jeez. How do you get a nationally ranked team go and it wasn't even close? Whatever.
It was rigged, like the Tyson and Jake Paul.
Yeah, someone paid him off. It is. That definitely was the Jake Paul Tyson fight right there. That's what it was. Yeah. Take that, Frank. Congratulations.
But I have something that we are working on up here in New England.
Okay.
It's I'll tell you, it's definitely it's in the planning stage. But it's gonna be an event where we're gonna be at a racetrack, and we're gonna have a few music artists that are gonna come out, which I've already got 2 music artists that are planning on coming, which you've actually interviewed on your guys' podcast here. I've got a motivational speaker, who goes down, and he's the saluting Marine down in DC for the used to be the Rolling Thunder ride, but now it's the Rolling to Remember by the AMVETS, which is Tim Chambers. He's going to be a motivational speaker, or the speaker at the event. But it's going to be where we're going to have that. We're going to have music. We're going to have the race car for veterans to get into and drive it on the track. It's going to be a 1 or 2 day event. Just working on the pretty much the planning, the rest of it, and getting the okays from a lot of stuff, and make sure we have all the correct insurance, so that we can start blowing this up and hopefully get it where there's thousands of veterans coming in and be able to enjoy this for a 1 to 2 day event.
That's exciting stuff, brother.
Yeah.
Lots
And it will
of
be
people-
free at cost. Again, free at cost for these veterans to come in and do this stuff, because that's the goal, is to keep it free for all these veterans to be able to enjoy this. You know, it's just one of the biggest things to bring veterans back out again to listening to music by veterans who are singing the music, these artists, to being at a big event for veterans.
Do you get to announce who you're having at your event?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're
No.
all I can say is, like I said, is you had them on your show, on your podcast here, so you know you can put probably 2 and 2 together. But
Brother, we've had over 198 musicians on our show. You're gonna have all 198 there? I won't let you. I won't put you up.
Time out. Can I say, Scotty Hastings?
Can neither confirm or deny.
I just had a little honey and lemon drink, and I just want to tell you that it's the honey that Scotty said was the best for his throat. Just so you know.
Oh.
I mean, I bought it for him when he was here. That's where it came from. We shared it. I know. I could be a singer if I share honey with a Scotty Hastings, right?
It could be him. It could. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know if you had Mikkel Buck band. It could be him.
All right.
Could be Scotty Frazier.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know, Chris Turner.
Oh,
Dog.
all in the same boat, or Waffle House.
So, you know, we've got in the works. We're hopefully getting. I've been in the talks with this artist so far, Craig Morgan. You know.
Okay.
So hopefully,
Craig's a little harder to get hold of. Craig, he was at an event here in Minnesota a few years back, and we haven't sealed the deal with Craig yet, but we're going to keep working on it.
Trust me, it's the same. It's a lot of work behind the scenes that go into it, and it's like, man, but it'd be a good, you know.
You know who we got right now? We got Brian Larose.
We do.
Boom.
Boom. You need a band, let me know.
And he's
Who's putting up this rotten sentence again? We've already dealt with this. Get it off the screen. Jeez. Take your pride.
I think I twitched. I'm sorry. I was trying to get Derek's up here. Thank you, Derek.
Yes. I need the sound maker for Reads Across America next year. Brian, what is the next big incoming thing for you and your crew, High Pine?
Yeah. And just the disclaimer, there is another High Pines out there on Spotify.
Yeah,
so
I was just looking.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I was trying to take a look. I couldn't get it up, but there's a picture. It's all, it's black and white. There's a big picture of a bridge.
They're from Britain.
When I posted the link, I went and made sure the songs that you gave were on there. So the link that we put out there is the correct one.
Yeah. It's I guess it's not unique, you know. We found that out afterwards, but what's next? No, I actually, some of those names that you mentioned, and you know, earlier, Shannon, Javon, and those guys are all part of Operation Encore, and I think I met some of the folks that run it. You know, when I was down in Georgia, and it seems like something I definitely would like to get involved in. But you know, they're very picky, so we'll see what happens. But just trying to get the word out as much as possible, play wherever I can, and I mean the band that you know we've only been playing for like 2 years, so it's going down to Georgia and doing that thing at Zach Brown's place was pretty awesome because it kind of gave me the confidence that you know you've got someone who's got like 28 Grammys listening to you around a fire pit, and they're, you know, you're playing guitar and they're like, you should do this full time kind of thing. It kind of gives you, you know, a little more just kind of confidence in your
It lights the
songwriting.
fire, man. It's
Yeah,
the reality.
Yeah.
We've gotten the blessing. Buddy Hyatt, who used to play with Toto, name drop, invited us to come down to Hilltop Entertainment down in Nashville to have a conversation about how we're going to help and support veterans. And as we're sitting there are 6 Grammy-winning artists sitting in there dropping songs left and right. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? We don't even what have we done to deserve this? And it just lights the fire. It encourages, the deeper, harder, relevant conversations. And there's a lot of people out there that want to help. And that's the exciting stuff. And we're getting there. We're getting there. You say you probably not but you do your recordings in a buddy's garage. Let's have a conversation. We've got opportunities and resources. And Mr. Hyatt is all about, you get to sit amongst the best of the best when you're down there in that space. So let's do the last song, and then we'll get to our closer. And I want to make sure. I hope you might have to pick that guitar up again, but we'll find.
No worries. I got you.
Your last song, Memory Lane, correct?
Yeah.
And you got a lead in for that?
Yeah. So this is actually, it's kind of a letter to my children. I've got a son and daughter, 10 and 8, and I'm a soccer coach around here, for fun. And one of the girls on our team, she caught pneumonia and passed away. Her name was Lane. And so it kind of really got the wheel spinning. And I was thinking about my kids when I wrote it, and Memory Lane is kind of a tribute to her and kind of a story to my kids.
All right. Give me a quick thumbs up, thumbs down if it's not the right song, and I apologize. I just want to make sure we're doing this justice because of the meaning, the purpose, and what it's all about. So, this is Brian Larose, Memory Lane.
My son came to sit on my right knee. My daughter right on his tail. She smiled up at me. Said, tell me a story of when you were young. So I shared a tale from when the days were long. Sat down and listened close, hanging on tight to the words I next spoke. And yeah, I was crazy, wild and free, but I wouldn't change a thing. What you mean to me? Oh, man, it sure goes fast. Slow it down. Trust my words, you have what you need, and all that's left is for you to believe. Well, there used to be a coyote, but I'm all right. Taught me to howl. There comes a day for you to settle down. The king gives up his chair and passes on his crown. Oh, man, it sure goes goes fast. Slow it down, wanna make these days last. When the sun goes down, you got all you need, and all that's left is for you to believe. Show you I love you in every way. Tell you I love you every day. And there'll come a day you'll lay me in the ground, her stars and stripes draped across my mound. But don't you cry when the trumpets sound, 'cause in your heart is where I'll always be found. And oh man, it sure went fast. Slow it down, wanna make these days last. Your mom and me have given you all you need. All that's left is for you to believe, and all that's left is for you to believe.
Wow, dude. Wow.
Awesome.
It's a heavy one.
Why? I'm gonna have to write a letter to Taylor Sheridan and say, "Get this guy on your stuff, man." This is. There's a piece in there that kind of reminiscence with some stuff about this weekend, and just slow it down. Slow it down.
Yeah, and there one of the lines in there is, "I used to be a coyote, but I'm all right now." It's actually to my uncle, who was a Marine, passed away, but he used to say that I used to be a coyote, but I'm all right now. And so there's a meaning in it, a little bit deeper than just kind of the surface.
It is our brothers and sisters who have the gift and talent of playing music have moved me more than once. But I mean, it's been a minute. But you got me, dude. You got me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
That arena dust. That's what it is. Arena dust. That's a great way to end this evening, man. We're going to go into our final thoughts. And we normally let Mr. Crochet. And as we normally we're going to let Mr. Crochet do his final thoughts.
I'm not really thinking at the moment. So, no, I don't really have anything that's been on my heart or head today, but we've said it plenty of times. We often hear our musicians talk about it when they come on, but there's several things that we went through in this show tonight that I've personally been through, and it's the isolation and the need to be alone and all of this stuff. When you kind of almost just, not that you don't know there's a problem, maybe you do, but you just, I gotta fix myself type deal. Anyways, so when you're going through that stuff, and I actually went through the phase of playing video games, and there is some part of that makes you feel like you have friends that are there because there's people there for you to talk to or whatever, right? But the people you're talking to probably don't know what you're going through. They probably don't know what you're what you've been through or what's in your head or anything like that. So I don't know if you really call it. I guess for some people it might be therapy, but in my case, it was more of a hiding from what needed to change and what needed to be done, is what I'm trying to say. So, anyways, long story short, I don't play video games anymore. Music is a great way to get through that process, that loneliness. If you're in that isolation stage, there's, I mean, songs from veteran musicians, songs from people who've been through what you've been through. I know Miss Kemmer writes poetry about things that she's been through, and there's other artists and other people writing stories, but music is something that we hold dear here at the People's Patriot Project. So get out there, man, listen to music. There's these people writing it, as Mr. Brian said tonight. You know, there's a therapy process to them writing the music down, and that therapy process is being shared for you to go through and possibly dive into these lyrics and find yourself in them, you know? So, music, you can hear it at WeP3 radio. You can hear it on the radio, any radio. You can Spotify. Just get out there and listen to music. Find yourself some poetry, something to read, something to dive into, and get out of your own head and your own space. And there's a world of people out there ready to mingle and walk with you through whatever you're going through.
Thanks, Jonathan. Mr. Macedo.
There we go. I had myself on mute still. You know, it's you know, touching on, you know, what he just said it's true. It's I mean, I struggled with isolating myself. I've seen buddies of mine that have isolated themselves. You know, not, you know, it's very easy to do, and to seclude yourself from, you know, from anything. Doesn't matter what it is, but, you know, getting out and be able to socialize with other people, and always checking on, you know, your I know we called it your battle buddies. You know, checking in on your friends time to time is always a good thing, because again, it's you never know how another person is feeling. So, you know, always make sure you check in on your friends, your battle buddies, because you don't know what they're going through. And touch on, you know, the whole General Patton, the old blood and guts. I've always looked up to that general. I've even have it tattooed on my body, which is part that says, "May God have mercy upon my enemies, because I won't." Got that right before my second deployment. Just from losing, you know, two people that were with us prior on the first deployment. They weren't there for the second, you know, because they perished. And it was unfortunately, and they were young. So yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing, brother.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me, but also our organization on. It means
Absolutely.
a lot.
You're always welcome here. Miss Kimmer.
I tonight was a lot about remembrance, especially those that have fallen. I know that I was struggling. But Brian, that song Memory Lane, oh my God, it left me speechless. Um, I'm going to have to find that and listen to it some more. And I think it'll help me heal. And I appreciate you writing that and sharing that with us.
Absolutely. I hear it. The other one, Forever Young. I hear when I play it out. People come up to me after, and the lyrics hit me, the melody hit me, and it makes me remember a time and a place that I either try to forget or it's good to remember once in a while. And it's I think that's validation for me that I'm sharing my story, which I think when you're in the military, especially special forces, it's like you don't talk about it, don't talk about the mission, don't talk about any of it. And so I think when you get out, it's very hard to tell your story or to promote yourself, because it's always team over yourself, so it's been a journey, but I'm glad that the music speaks to your heart. So thank you.
Take the floor, Brian.
Yeah. I think, thank you all for having me, and Doug, it was great meeting you, and hope we'll probably bump into each other in Boston somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, but I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my brother, who's a veteran as well. He's a Boston Fire now. So shout out to Boston Fire. They do great work. And just all my buddies who are still serving and kind of, still holding it down and keeping us safe at night. So it's, and what you guys are doing, spreading the word and doing all these great things for veterans. It's amazing. It really does. It helps, and it helps people just, when you fall in with a group of veterans, doesn't matter your branch or service or what you did or whatever, you just automatically click and you feel that camaraderie again, even if it's just for a brief minute. So it's a powerful thing.
Absolutely.
Except for the Navy today.
Screw those guys. No.
Is that a branch?
I think they're a sub branch of the Space Force, I think, but I'm not
And
sure.
the Coast Guard.
We'll be nice. Miss Eichmann.
That's us. Well, I just want to start out by thanking you guys for being here tonight. Great presence, great show, and lots of good things are being said on the side during the show as well. And Brian, the song, all three songs. Memory Lane, that's the music in the background actually was pulling all the words and making it even better and deeper. And so it's so much appreciated. Thank you for sharing. And Doug, it's time we got you on here. Thanks for always being around these last couple months. Great to see your face and hear all of it. There's no time to type it, in the notes. So thank you so much for sharing and coming on. I'm sure we'll be in touch with both of you a lot in the future. We've got a couple of guests next week. I think Peterson talked about Mr. Weimer. Chuck Weimer will be on next weekend with some music, and then Lottie Marie will be coming on to share about her traveling veteran advocate. And so that'll be interesting as well. And because we were talking about memories and leadership and Peterson taking ownership, I want to just leave you with a quote from Chris Hadfield, who's an astronaut. But ultimately, leadership is not about glorious crowning acts. It's about keeping your team focused on a goal and motivated to do their best to achieve it, especially when the stakes are high and the consequences really matter. It is about laying the groundwork for others' success and then standing back and letting them shine. And even if you want to own it as the leader, that's great. You can't own everybody's crap, but you surely can be their lead and let them do what they can do to shine. So with that, I say thank you and happy Wreath Day.
I'm here. I don't know why I disappeared for a second, but so I don't belong up here. I gotta get back. Okay, fix that. Love the quote, Andrea, and it is. We all work better together as a team, and you got to find your space and place and time and where that fits. And again, it's got it through the book. You know, they talk about the Navy SEALs a lot. They talk about team. They talk about working and giving everything you got. And the one thing that I have been focusing on for a good minute is that the version of me tomorrow should be better than the version of me today. And to put yourself with people, yoke yourself with people that are capable of helping you achieve that goal. And I can tell you right now that the WeP3 team is a group of people that inspires me to do better, to be better, and to be a better version of me every day. And there are some days that are a challenge, and there's some days that I don't feel that we fit together as a team, but at the end, it all works out. It all comes together. And I'm excited for. I'm not a resolution kind of guy. I don't believe in that because every day is a restart, every minute's a restart. And I believe that we have the opportunity to make and change people greatly. And we're going to continue that mission. Again, I blustered it. Remind me, put it in our notes, please, if someone remembers. We need to move our call to action to the beginning of the show because we know we lose a lot of people by the time we get to the end of the show. And then we get it. We understand. There's other podcasts going on. There's people are seeing the resurrection of John Dutton right now on Paramount. And Paramount, make sure you send me that check. I appreciate it. And but all of us have a device, and Doug was talking about it. This is my promise, and this is my commitment. If you take and in your text, in a text thread, type, I was just thinking about you, cut and paste that, and send that to 6 people on your contact list, I promise you it'll stir a conversation. And I'm asking you to do this with people maybe you don't talk to every day. I mean, if you just got done doing a 24-hour text conversation with someone and you just said, I was just thinking about you, they'd be like, duh, I know, we're here. Have those tough conversations. It's a challenge. And I've shared the story several times. I don't want to be cliche. I don't want to make it cliche, but there is a brother in my life that's no longer in my life, and I probably could have changed the path and direction of his life if I had reached out to him. He was the best man in my wedding, the best man in his wedding, and he's no longer with us because he let his demons get the best of him. And I don't live with that in torment. He's a man that makes his own decisions, and that's the reality. And that is the same reality for all of us. I mean, people are going to make decisions regardless of our involvement or not. But I do know that if we don't do anything, if we just sit on the couch, if we isolate ourselves, all subject matters we talked about tonight, then there is a less chance. So put yourself out there. It is our call to action. We do ask you to reach out to your brothers and sisters. Make one of those a difficult one. Be bigger, better, better. And sorry, not sorry. That's what we do. Come check us out tomorrow at 4:30 so you can hear more about what WeP3 Team is doing on our weekly debrief. And I appreciate all the guests and all the comments and all the people who have been here and the support that we've gotten. Thank you for all the people that were involved with the Reads Across America event yesterday. Appreciate you. We do have some superstars, and we have some stars, and we have some people that, you know what, we didn't get the job done. but doesn't mean that we can't be successful in still doing that. We appreciate you, and we'll check you next week when the smoke clears. Patriot Pride. Pushing all the buttons, and they're all the wrong ones right now. Bow, 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 bow.